Hello, my name is Marissa Rex and welcome to elementarySchoolCounseling.org's video podcast. This is our second video podcast called Why I Love Storybird. I heard about Storybird about a year ago from a student teacher at my school, and I checked it out. I wasn't sure what to expect, and once I went onto the site, I instantly fell in love with it. I've always loved reading and writing, especially children's books, and this is the perfect site for me as a school counselor and as a writer. A lot of times I want to talk about a specific topic with a group of students and I can't quite find the book that I'm looking for, so a lot of times I would write my own stories. But with Storybird I can do it in a much more professional way because they have a library of artwork from artists around the country that can fit almost any story that I can think of. And another great thing is too, if I'm interested in writing, I want to do something fun and I don't have an idea in my head, I can go onto the site, look through that library of artwork and come up with a story based on the pictures that I see. Another wonderful part of the site is that it's very family friendly, student friendly. You can do work on the site in your classroom without worrying about your students getting involved or seeing inappropriate material. All the books that are published on Storybird are moderated by story spotters. I'm actually one of the story spotters, so I can attest to that. They read through every single story that gets posted, and if anything's inappropriate, they flag it and send it back so that it never reaches the students. Also, on every story you can write comments and feedback to the author, but those comments are also moderated, so you don't have to worry about people saying that the story's bad or really hurting your feelings or your students' feelings. As a teacher, you can create a class account, and school counselors could do this too. I bet you could do it with groups or however you wanted to make the account. I know a lot of teachers use it right now. And this way you can publish it within your own classroom and you don't have to send it out into the main library of Storybird. Students can create their own account separate from that class account where they can post things publicly, but the class account is a really nice private place where you can make assignments for students on a specific topic and have them write a story about it. Whatever you want to do, it's really great. Actually, I even, for the past 2 years, have been doing an author study with another group of students from a different elementary school in my own school district. They invited me to come over because they had been using Storybird in their classroom. They were a group of 5th graders, and they were reading a lot of my stories, and so I got to come over there, read a story on the smart board, and they got to ask me questions about the writing process. It was really great. I felt it was one of the most rewarding experiences that I've had. Just to see the students so excited and asking such great questions, you could tell that it really enhanced their learning to be able to write their own stories in a way that made them feel like it was so professional, and it's a really great site. The great thing too about Storybird is that you can write stories and read stories for free. They'll just pop up onto your, once you click read, you can see it full screen mode and go page by page and read them for free, any story. And then your own stories, you can choose to buy them. Unfortunately, you can't buy other Storybird writers' stories at this point. That's something that's coming up in the future, but you can at least purchase your own. And so what I did was I bought hardcover books, and this is what they look like. These are the premium copies, and so this is what you get if you bought something like that. And you can, make sure that it's the name that you want on the cover. You can have a dedication page, and it's, in full color. The great artwork's on here. I love having the hard cover books to bring with me. But you can also order other sizes, and you can get them in PDF format too, which is what I did. And then I can print them off as I want to. And another wonderful part about Storybird, there are so many, I have complete rights to my stories. Obviously not the artwork, but I have, the rights to my story. So what I thought I would do would share just a tiny bit of one of my stories called No, My Name is Parker. This is one of the most popular stories of mine on Storybird. I wrote this a while ago. I'm not even sure how long. It was almost a year ago, and it was about bullying, and I've gotten a really great student response from not just my students, but students around the country, around the world. saying that, you know, they feel like this at school and this book really helped them. And so that makes me feel really great as a writer, as a school counselor, and just as a person. So I'll read the beginning of my story, and then if you're interested, I will give you the link so that you can see the rest of my story. So this is called No, My Name is Parker. Parker was wonderful. She loved and lived with her full of sweetness heart. But when Parker came to school and sat in her cold gray classroom, she just wanted to be invisible. Nobody understood her excitement for learning and life. Hey, pumpkin, the students would say. No, she thought, my name is Parker. Parker started wearing contacts and tried poofing her hair like the other girls in her class. It didn't work. Hey, pumpkin, they sneered. Nice hair. Parker smoothed her hair and dyed it blonde. Maybe that would help her be invisible. That didn't work either. Hey, pumpkin, they called. You should have picked orange. Parker began to lose a little bit of her full of sweetness heart. All she could think of were her classmates' jeers. Hey, pumpkin, rang through her thoughts like a siren. No, she reminded herself. My name is Parker. So this is a story that I would use to talk about bullying, and also a lot of it has to do with self-esteem too. I mean, it's making yourself feel confident without having to fight or to use mean words. You can show that confidence in other ways, and so that kind of, by doing that, prevents you from being more of a target of bullying. But like I said, I have a lot of other stories on my website. I've divided my own personal Storybird stories into categories so that if you ever wanted to use them, you could see them that way. You can create your own account for free. You don't have to write any stories, but that way you can create your own reading list of stories that you like from Storybird. There are a lot of things that you can do with the site. Something new that I'm going to start doing on my website is I'm going to create audiobooks for my stories, and so that way if you want to share it with students or listen to it on your own, you can hear the story read to you in addition to seeing it as well on your screen. So that's another new thing that I'm going to be doing. It's going to take a while to get through all my stories, but I'm going to pick the ones that I use the most and that seem to be the most popular on Storybird and then go from there. So be on the lookout. I will post updates on my Facebook page, Twitter, probably on my blog as well. So there are lots of ways to hear about the new things that are going on at elementarySchoolCounseling.org. Thank you so much for watching elementaryschoolcounseling.org's video podcast. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. If you have any questions or comments about what I talked about in this video podcast, or really about anything, feel free to contact me on my contact page. Just fill out the form and I will get back to you as soon as I can.